97 Suzuki DS80. In the last video, or one of my videos, whichever one that was watched last, I went over the clutch, the Kickstarter, the clutch cable, levers, front brake, back brake, talked about the carb. For the throttle cable, it is the original throttle cable. It is the original throttle housing. These are just grips from Walmart. I was in a rush before I was going on deployment. I really wanted something on here because the old ones were, this actually didn't even have one. It was just the plastic, but I really wanted something on. Didn't have time. I was leaving like 2 or 3 days, so I wanted to get something on there just to take it, a few rides, not just plastic. Wanted to look cool before I left. I did buy, I didn't know where to get a lot of things, so did a lot of Amazon shopping, a lot of research. Did buy this. I see this come up on Amazon a lot, but it's just a single cable that goes through. Turns out the cable does not work. So I took the cable out and tried to at least use this, the housing and all this stuff, like the newer hardware. But it turns out this plastic piece right here is too big. The inside plastic piece. Let me see if I can take this off for a second. Let me see. Sorry about that. Okay, my kids lost my one Allen wrench. It's the size I need. Of course. Well, anyways, this plastic piece inside right there that would go around the handlebar is too big for this bike. I put them side by side, and the one off Amazon does not fit this bike. It says it does, but it does not. And then I did get some jets and some stuff that I'll go over in the next video. And here's the line that I bought. There's the Kickstarter. I have to find the bars around here somewhere because I want to give them to the guy that's buying it. I had to buy a, what I'm talking about, spark plug socket for it. And then this, again, if you're a beginner, you guys might think I'm dumb, but I'm a beginner. So I was looking up online, like what oil goes into the engine of a two-stroke. And obviously I know two-strokes have either premix or, I don't know if it's like fuel injected or not fuel injected, but the oil is in a separate and it mixes in itself. So I know you have the two-stroke oil and you have the fuel. But for the actual engine itself, the engine oil, I was looking up a bunch of things, and everything online said two-stroke oil. But I just went and I just asked a question, like at O'Reilly's. I was like, hey, I got this little dirt bike. I'm trying to do an oil change. What do I do? And then they did that. They were like, hey, it's got to be this because of the wet clutch, hence wet clutch. So I asked my buddy that helped me get it running. He was like, yeah, absolutely, dude, you're doing it right. So I'm like, all right, cool. Didn't feel too dumb, but yeah, here's the clamps that come with it. This is I think it was like $8 on Amazon. It's pretty good. Eventually going to put these on probably the KX is the fuel filter. And then in here I have, again, if you don't know, like I did, I bought a shifter too, just in case I need it. Kind of bought it on accident, but that's all right. Got it for the future, for something. Actually, going over these carb pieces are going to help me explain something on the bike. Let me see, open up the last one. I don't know what you guys are seeing right now. Hopefully you guys can see these good. So these ones are, it's like a 42-piece kit off Amazon. My buddy said he uses the same one. I don't know what I wrote by that. Not main. I don't remember exactly. But these are the pilots. they have different, I believe these are the ones with different sizes. These are the main jets. So the main jets for a carburetor, the different sizes, I believe, is a bigger hole, so more fuel gets through. These are a question. He does not remember. I do not know. And then these are the pilots. I don't know if the pilots have a different sizes or not. Oh, they do. They do have different sizes. Yeah, they do. They're etched in there, and there's like, what are they? Pretty small. I mean, you guys can see that they got numbers on them. I tried looking up stuff like Macaroni-Q because a while back, this bike, when it was running rough. It would just, just ring, and I didn't really know what to do. So I would just ride it. As you're riding it, it's fine. But as soon as I put this thing in neutral, it was just, balls to the wall kind of going thing. Wasn't fun, it just couldn't show anyone. As soon as I'd roll up, I'd hit that kill switch. So it was like, yeah, I got to tune it, but I don't know how to tune it. Did some reading. It was running too lean. Yes, it was too lean. So with the carb, what I did is I had to keep it, once I put it in I had to, where is my flashlight so you guys can see right here. Okay, it's not gonna work. All right, come on. Sorry, I need the flashlight for this. Kids mess with the flashlight, can't see anything. There we go. So, okay, that's a little too bright almost. Move this out of the way. A little dirty. Oh, wow, that's too bright. I think that'll work. So, I'm sorry. This one right here, this is the idle screw, at least from, what I'm told. And this is the air screw. So this one determines how much air is coming in. I don't remember through somewhere. I know the float is your float is down here in this. Sometimes your float can get stuck, and when the bike floods, there's a screw at the bottom that it comes out of, or you can drain it, I believe, that way. Again, I could be wrong on most of this, but I'm just trying to do my best to help people out with this bike, because there's not a lot of newer videos on this bike. The choke. So what I did is when I let it run, it was idling high. When I started it, I had the idle screw all the way out. And then from all the way out, obviously it wouldn't idle if I was giving it gas. It would just die out. So I would tighten it a little bit. I'd count how many I'd go in. But first I screwed it all the way in, and you count all the way in. And then I screwed it out, I think three whole turns out. Once I went 3 whole turns out, the thing was screaming. So obviously just went like another turn out, another turn out, another turn out. I kept going until it felt right. But at first nothing was working. So my air screw, the one over there, the small one, I believe I had it way too far out. So I think I'm at like a turn and a half, maybe even half a turn. And then my idle screw, again, I don't remember exactly. You got to kind of listen for ear, depending in the condition of your carb. I should probably clean mine. But this thing also, the reason why I bought the jets, the pilot screw and the jet, is because before I started talking to the guy on Marketplace about trading this bike, I was going to rejet it, because this thing, it'll run with the choke off, but you can hear it not getting enough fuel. I didn't know what it was at first, but you could definitely tell it wasn't getting enough fuel. It was like put, 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 like as I was riding it, it's putting out. So that wasn't fun. It was like a misfit of power, I guess you could say. It was like, ring, ping, 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 ping. And then it was like power, no power, power, no power. So it's really like on and off. So I run it with the choke on, and I did, tune it to run with the choke on because it's perfect. Here's fuel. Ran these lines up, just kind of zip tied them together, make them look a little better. kill switch down here to the box. I wish I could see a little more. If you guys can see right in there, that's what we did right there. Put that side on, and then put that. I mean, you guys can kind of see. I'm trying to hold the phone. Yeah, there's that. So that came up. That thing got this thing running. I got this thing running for $4.50. It's at 4 years, sadly. I mean, yeah, I could use a new chain, new tires. I have tire spoons that I bought, you know, to get the tube in this thing and the tires on. But that's just stuff I got to do. Maybe, I don't know, rear swing arm. I mean, it's just rusty, I guess. I don't know exactly, again, a lot about that. There's a few sites out there that you can buy like the OEM parts, but a lot of times they're out of stock. Go figure. I'm trying to find a seat cover for this. I have seen some on Marketplace, and I messaged some dudes. They were like, yo, where'd you get those plastics? They're like, they're OEM, but it's not the same year, which kind of sucks. I would like to keep it original. I actually got this little rip in the seat from Bump Starting It when I didn't have that. The Kickstarter. I don't know where the silencer is, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it without the silencer because the silencer is like all the way out here. It sounds pretty good like this. Again, there'll be videos uploaded on it. The bars work great, just fine. I don't know about risers if you want to go that far, but I mean, this thing rips. It's really good. I like this bike. I think it's a great beginner two-stroke bike for sure. It's a 80cc, but for the year, it's great. JR80s, they're the same thing. So if you can get your hands on a JR80, I mean, it's just like this thing, man. I would suggest doing it. I'm a fan of the boxy fender this year, so I really like it. A front plate. Again, I was going to get a front plate. I was just going to get, you know, one off Motorsport Rev Zero. Just front plate right here. Maybe that went up and strapped to that or something. I wasn't going to get the front headlight. I personally don't. I've seen them with the front headlight, and I don't like it. There's not a need for it. I don't need the light. So I do want to get different hand grips. I think these are bicycle ones, but hey man, it works. The bike runs. It's really fun. It's got a kickstand. I try to help people out with these bikes, like on Marketplace. I'll see some people are like, I don't know what I have, give me an offer, and I'll message them. I'm like, I let them know. Like, hey dude, look at your VIN. This is the year. This is the bike you got. And so there's been like 2 or 3 of them, and then there's been 1 or 2 guys that I've hit up that, you know, like, hey man, like, what'd you do for this, or like, what kind of tuning do you have? I think tuning just depends, like, because they could have put a big bore kit on it, or they could have their carb could be a different carb than yours, or they already might have had different jetting, so the tuning's not going to be the same for everyone, which I thought it was going to be. So I went off the Mikuni chart that you can look up, and that was not it for this bike. That's the reason why it was screaming. And it wasn't until I just started like actually listening to the bike to where I learned it. So I think that's pretty much it for this. If I could find the bars, I'm gonna give the guys the bars. If I don't end up trading for the KX80 tomorrow, then I'll be making more videos on this thing and what I can do for it, especially that side plate. Really want to get a side plate. I just think both side plates look really nice. Maybe some new tires. I'm not going ripping on a track or anything, so just putting around the yard with my kids. So I think new tires aren't really a necessity. Possibly a new chain. Like right now it's running fine besides jetting. If you run with the choke on, the jetting's perfect, if you want to say that. But other than that, I like the guard on it. The heat guard just a little bit. My kids if they ride, they mostly put their foot on the here or here with me because they're still pretty small. Yeah, forks seem pretty good. Brakes work pretty good. If I had this thing longer, and if I do, I'm gonna get the back brake so you guys will see that. So the KX, we got to see what's all the way wrong with it. As far as I know, the guy seems, you know, pretty mechanically inclined, and he said that it just needs a carb clean. It's just sitting for a little bit. It needs a carb clean and a spark plug, which hopefully that's it. Even if there is more wrong with it, I'd like to get my hands working on some other things now that I have done a few things of this. I think I can start getting my hands on a few other projects. Maybe, hopefully, hopefully not, you know, because this bike's good and running. I can go putt on this whenever I want. First starts second kick every time. Never had to use starting fluid, which is cool. I didn't even know how to use starting fluid till the other day. My buddy had to use it on his bike. And I even had to watch a video where to put it. But yeah, man, this is 97 DS80, and I'm just really trying to make these videos to help anyone out there. And if these videos do get some views, by all means, I don't know how it works, but comment on the video, and I'll help you any way I can. Because again, I'm still a beginner, but it's cool for the guys out there that are just now beginning on bikes, starting to learn. So that's pretty much it for this one.